Hello and welcome back to Mr. Kyle's Orchids. Had a request to kind of go over how I did this grid wall, so I thought maybe I'd do a short, quick video on it. Um, the grid is attached to the crown molding up there. Let me see if you can see that. With those hooks and and then the ceiling hooks or I put a grid up there and, as opposed to ceiling hooks because I don't know. I just had an idea that it might be easier. So I did this over here. When I bring my Vandas in and my other plants that I'm going to hang here in the bay window, I was limited on where the actual hooks were. And with the grid, it just helps. I could have more variety of how I place it. So then, okay, so that thought went over to here. I mean, I had the grid wall thought, didn't know exactly how I was going to attach it to the brick. I was going to borrow the impact drill from the rink that I work at and drill into the brick, which I wasn't really looking forward to that. Decided since I was hanging the grid from the ceiling with the hooks that I would attempt to hang the grid from the crown molding up there, which is wood, so it was a lot easier. It should hold all the weight of the rest of the orchids that need to come in that I have mounted. There's a few that are mounted that are heavy that I'm not going to put there. But anyway, so the lights, they're individual lights. Yeah, I got them on Temu, but they seem to be fairly good. Full spectrum lights. The readings come out nice, well within 2,000 foot candles and higher. Um, so I had grid and I cut the grid so I could fit 4 lights on each one. And then I put a little string up there through a hook so I can pull the lights up and out of the way when I want to place plants on the grid or, get plants off the grid. Um, also, made a little hook so I can place it here. If I want them even higher, I can go back further. Um, so that just keeps that up and out of the way. Same thing over here, did them separate. Um, and then, so that's really helpful. So I just took the individual lights, I cut some grid, and then as you can see, I zip tied them onto there, and they should be fine. I might regret that later, but we'll find out. And I don't like that these kind of cover up everything when I want to look at them, but I do like it overall. I mean, and it's for the orchids. So and then so where I have so I had these wires and I made hangers for the grid and I just hung them up there and I can move them back to give them because I know some of the mounted ones to give them more room and so the leaves of some of the mounted orchids aren't just up against the light, which is probably not a good idea. But anyway, so that's how I did it. I just got the grid, cut it to the size I wanted, hung it from up there. The little shelf I made with more grid that I cut, it's attached to the main the back grid with cable ties. And then I had more wiring and I used finagled it there and over there to hold up the grid shelf. And there's a little one behind all that there that you can't really see, but it's fairly strong. I'm not going to put a lot of plants on there. Um, the humidity trays, that's just interim until I order more. I want to get 2 of this size, just 2 feet by like 15 inches, something like that. They, I did have those over here in the window. This skinny one here was on the wood over there, which has been worked out really well for me last winter because of all the watering. The little water catching trays don't hold very much, and so it was getting a wet. This helped a lot cut that down. But so yeah, the humidity trays, in my opinion, are a must because that everything drips right down into them. So I'm not getting dripped onto the furniture or anything below it. The brick seems to absorb any of the moisture and help keep it a little bit more humid. I just watered a few months ago, and it was 40. No, I'm sorry, it was 50, around 50% humidity. Now it's up to 75, just from watering around that area. Anyway, so that was it. Short and sweet. I'll try to back away, see if you can see it all. It's 4 feet by 4 feet. It's a square. I probably could have gone further, but that means I have to get more lights, and that's not in the budget right now. At any rate, there's my little grid wall, grid space, and how I did it. Have a great day. Thanks for coming.